happened. We had technical difficulties. But listen, I got to go back into the courthouse. But let me just tell you, oh my God, when I say Jane Doe has been going in, right? When I say Jane Doe has been going in on Diddy, I am not joking. Now, we were talking about what was going on. Hold on. Okay, we were talking about what's going on with juror number 6, okay? The prosecution wants juror number 6 gone. Diddy's team is begging. We were supposed to stay till, there is so much going on. We were supposed to stay till 5 tonight. We just found out that we're only staying till 3 p.m. There is something major going on, and there's protests going on all over New York City, well, at least where I am, right? There is major stuff going on. The defense is saying, no, it's cool. Juror number 6 can stay. The prosecution is saying, get them out of there. Juror 6 is part of a little clique. It makes me think, now here's the one thing I wanted to say, right? A lot of people don't realize this. Juror number 6 has no idea anything's going on. Juror number 6 is, number one, not supposed to be watching any press, not supposed to be reading anything. All these conversations you hear are conversations we hear. Hold on, all these conversations you get here are conversations that we are privy to in the courtroom, okay? However, the jury is not there, so they don't know what's going on. I've been watching juror number 6 all day. They've been taking notes, chilling, one leg kicked up. I don't think they know what's coming. Now, here's the issue. What could it be for? What could it be for? Why would prosecution want to get a juror struck and pull in one of the alternates? This is on the heels of Diddy nodding, looking, being accused of, and being admonished by the judge of trying to communicate with the jury. Now, listen, I'm not saying jury, hey, I'm not saying, hey, Lauren, I'm not saying that, Diddy's, I'm not saying that Diddy would ever try to buy a jury member. And I'm not saying that the jury members would ever actually try to be bought. What I am saying is, what is Diddy in jail for? Why is Diddy in the MDC? Why every single time he got who said this? My friend Todd said that he is literally cosplaying Martin Lawrence from the Life, movie, right? Right? Why does every night does he have to go back to the rats and roaches instead of fighting this in his 1-star island mansion or literally being in the hotel, right? Somewhere in New York? Because witness tampering, obstruction of justice, bribery. Would Diddy be so bold and so stupid as to try to approach a juror and do what he can to swing the case? I don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. But you know I'm going to talk about it. So where are we at, okay? Juror number 6 doesn't even know that they are in trouble. Now, juror number 6 has a little clique. It's not who you think it is, okay? We're keeping it whatever. But there have been concerns from that little clique. I already said it before that I thought Brian Still's folders kind of broke the dam. I thought that was a big mistake to let those folders be passed around. Why? Because the jurors got comfortable with each other. They were talking to each other. Now, they could have been talking about what they ate for breakfast. But from a prosecution team, I don't want I do not want jury people communicating at all. I would think the defense would want the same thing. Again, we were told these were going to be some long days on cross-examination. I will say one thing. This cross-examination, I don't think went the way that Tenny Garagos thought it would. Now, Tenny Garagos, let me just say this, right? Diddy's legal team is $1 million legal team. I see why Tenny's getting the money. We've already seen several times why Westmoreland's getting the money, why Xavier's getting money, why Brian Still's getting the money. Mark Garagos, you told Diddy to keep Cassie's name out of it. But then again, everybody did drag him for making an apology. The funny thing is, Mark Agnafilio, Yana, he was the one that told Diddy, leave Cassie's name out of the apology. She might be a federal grand jury witness. Diddy got dragged up and down for that. Now, here is the interesting thing about that. When he did the apology without Cassie's name, it went like a lead balloon. I do want to say this. How come nobody told Diddy? There's option C. Option A is that you put Cassie's name in it. Option B is that you make the apology and you don't. Option C is, how about y'all sit down and don't do anything? Scuba Girl, thank you so much for the super chat. And Positive Beauty Studio, thank you for the super chat, right? I also feel like, other people. I'm going to post, if you sent me a super chat in the last live I have to shut down, I am going to post a special thank you. And in the next live, when I sit down, I'll actually read your names out. I see everything. Thank you so much. And I'll read your comments too. But you know how it is with me and lives and all this stuff. Okay, right? So, okay. So anyway, right? Okay, so Mark Agnifilo, I guess he's worth his money too, right? Because he let Diddy know what was coming. Mark Agnifilo and his connects were the ones that back then when everybody's calling me a liar, and I was like, yo, Diddy is under federal investigation. Mark Agnifilo was in Diddy's ear saying, yo, my boy, wake up, wake up. Don't touch me. You got baby oil in your hands. You got baby. Don't touch me. Okay, KK, come get him. KK, come get him, right? But he was like, yo, wake up. You under federal, a grand jury is being convened. You under investigation. Don't say Cassie's name, but how come nobody told Diddy there was a B? A, apology in Cassie's name. B, apology without Cassie's name. Or C, no apology. No apology. No apology. The fact that out of all these ragtag legal teams, there were no lawyers that could be like, I think that, and listen, I can understand trying it, because you know me, try everything once. But I would have heard him and saw him with the phone up his nose, because this is the way he was. Yo, hold on. He was like this. Yo, hold on. Yo, I just want to say, I'm sickened. I'm disgusted. Yo, I got therapy. I've worked on myself. Now, you know, the funny thing is, when I saw that, I said, Diddy, on yourself, literally signing up. And with better help does not count as therapy, Diddy. But nice try, right? And he was like, yo, I just want to say, you know, it was a dark time. I was disturbed. I was disgusted. Yo, and I just want to say sorry. Love. Okay, Diddy. So you go, I worked on myself. I got help. Man, shut up, right? Anyway, no, you know what? If Diddy has taught me, violence does not have a place in anything, even jokes. But if it did, shut up and go sit in a beat. Sit your dumb ass up and go make some beats, Diddy. But all jokes aside, you literally basically hit us with the, I got therapy, I got help. Where are these therapy bills? Where are these help bills? What therapists did you find to tie their license to you? Because I'm sure, I'm thinking that messes retroactively. But I really want to know what happened with the therapy. I think it was Better Health, Unlimited, and I'm not even joking. I would have looked at that and been like, first of all, you look like the devil. You look like you've been high, drunk, and partying. Those eyes are yellower than cat piss. What are you doing? Second of all, and this is where victim literally had me cracking up. You know, she was in that courtroom roasting Diddy, talking about he had gray gums. He's definitely bi, but probably too scared to say any of his truth, and said, I think he's in the cluck hole. She said Diddy had gray gums. She said, you want to make me look like I'm a gold digger, baby? I'm going to tell you what I went through. Anyway, I mean, it was the truth. It was the truth. In any case, right? She was roasting them and didn't even realize it. I was just like, oh my God. But anyway, right? The fact that you look at that and you're just like, you know what? Forget about the apology. Sometimes, forget about the apology. Sometimes you just have to stand in your truth. Honeybee Therapy, thank you so much for the super chat. Somebody said, oh my God, what are gray gums? Literally, gums, gray. He said he had gray gums. Again, to me, I think she was trying to say he had gingivitis or something, but it was given like crackhead energy, because how do you get graying gums? How do you get graying gums? How do you get, like, are you being deprived of oxygen? But that's what, they're also trying to push this narrative that he was out of control crackhead. That doesn't actually really fly, because how do you build a multi-billion-dollar company but you a crackhead? How are you the mogul, the father, and all these things? Those two things don't exist. But now we're supposed to believe you a crackhead, and she was just like mama, because she really liked taking care of him and she liked nurturing him. But again, to me, it's given the whole pimp lover boy thing. Like he convinced you that you're needed, wanted, and that you could save him, right? You could save him with your love. Again, me, I'm not in the men I have to save, baby. Y'all see me. I'm a mess. right? Y'all see me. I can't even go. Like, I'm always like, I actually need someone to come in and be like, here, let me put some order in your life. Let me help you. So I'm not into men that I have to baby and save. Baby, no, because at the end of the day, I think you're going to hate me for it. The same way little kids hate their moms for they might help them, but then your mom's being too overbearing. Okay, not my thing, but I know a lot of women are into this. Oh, Tyrone Blackburn, what's up, Esquire? Said Juror 6 has been a problem since the first week. I think that whole... Oh my God, a bumblebee's trying to kiss me. A bumblebee's trying to kiss me. I knew I shouldn't have wore. I just tried a new Edge gel, the Edge Booster one, the grape flavor. I think the bumblebee's in love with my Edge control. It smells like sweet honey flowers in my hair. Anyway, sorry guys. Listen, it's trying to. So anyway, my whole point of the matter is a lot of those, and and the thing is, juror number 6 doesn't know that he's actually in trouble, or them. They don't know. It could be a he or she. We don't know, right? But they don't know. When I say he, that means they or she. Okay, don't read too much into it, right? But anyway. Positive Beauty Studio 7 said, girl, I didn't send you enough for a coffee. Sending love, support, and positive vibes. This isn't enough for a coffee. What you talking about? I be getting my coffee from the newsstand. I don't need any Starbucks. be getting that $3.89 cup of coffee, right? So anyway, right? Listen, I was on Nancy Grace. I'm going to be on Nancy Grace today. I was on Nancy Grace yesterday. Hopefully, I'll become a regular. Y'all will see me back on ABC soon, but I have a bunch of cool things coming up, so you guys just stay tuned, okay? I got some really, really good things, okay? Anyway, my whole point of the matter is when it comes to Juror 6, and thank you so much, Tyrone Blackburn, Esquire. Yeah, listen, why do you think, what could they have done so much that after Diddy gets admonished, they want juror number 6? I wonder if they broke, and I'm just, shooting the breeze. Do you think that they were on social media? Do you think, whatever it is, okay, the prosecution wants them gone, and the defense is like, no, they can stay, because they don't think it's a big deal. Baby, Savagish said, I came from the last live, and I'm still dying at the fact that you called him a crackhead, because why are you so strong? He is... Did he not have crackhead energy? And by energy, I mean crackhead strength. I believe that you were a crackhead, but I don't believe that in any way that excuses anything, because you were a functional crackhead, okay? Slow Rilla said, God has big plans for you. Oh, thank you, you guys. All right, let's get into the way Jane Doe was dragging, okay? And also, when I come back down, it's going to be, don't forget, we're getting out of court at 3 o'clock today, so I'll probably be going live sometime between 3:30, right from the courthouse. Y'all make sure that y'all are literally locked in. LJ said, I had a feeling Joe, a.k.a. Good Logic, mellowed you out a bit yesterday, but I love your energy. How did Joe mellow me out? Man, shut up. I mean, I don't mean it like that, LJ. Listen, we love Joe from Good Logic, but ain't no man mellowing it. Please. No, anyway, let's get on. I literally just got rained on. I did Nancy Grace. So it's like whatever. All right, Soldier BO5 Live said, you go, girl. Joe didn't mellow my energy. I do not agree with Joe. But again, from a male point of view, because he is the age of some of those jurors. So sometimes I like to see how the other person's thinking. What they have sex trafficking by fraud, by coercion, and now by force. And remember, we were talking to him, and he's like, I don't see the violence. And I said, well, what if I tell you they're going to introduce horrible violence today? That he blacked your eye and then made her get up and perform a freak off. And he was like, well, yeah, that happens. Then I think they have it. And you guys, what happened today? She delivered yesterday, and now I even think that Joe actually thinks that. I'm going to have Joe on the channel to actually talk about it, but and whatever, now that we're through, and I think the prosecution is resting their case next week. So he'll be able to give you his unique things. Diana Williams said, we love you, T. Said, thank you for always keeping us up to date with everything. God bless. Thank you so much. It's good logic, okay? So anyway, hold on, y'all. Let's get into this. Okay. Now here's a weird thing. I'm gonna tell you the good and bad, right? Before the break, Jane said she didn't think that any of Diddy's employees, right, saw that she and Diddy were with an entertainer at the times they delivered cash to a hotel room. But again, we have to argue, why are you delivering cash to a hotel room? Again, even if they didn't see the entertainer, they know who the entertainer is. They know something's going on, because why would you be giving cash to entertainer, all right? She didn't think the employees ever came inside the hotel rooms in the middle of the sexual encounter. Again, why were you bringing cash? Why were you Ubering cash? And what did you think they were doing in the hotel rooms? Again, I think this is Diddy trying to make sure that none of his team flip on him, because you need to keep in mind, right? I think he wants to make sure that none of the team flips on him, because if he can keep them out of RICO and just be like, oh my God, they didn't know, then they won't tell the government what they know, right? Again, she also testified she didn't believe KK, right, knew about hotel nights with entertainers. She also confirmed that Diddy didn't specifically want KK to know that he was partying, because she disapproved and wanted him to focus more on his business. Now, you really think that Diddy's right-hand woman didn't know? Because KK was in charge of sending people, right? Sending people and assistants to set up for hotel night. But you never know. You never know, okay? But here's the thing. Even if KK didn't know about hotel nights, you knew about the bribery, right? You knew about the arson, right? You knew about the violence, and you knew about the kidnapping, because Cassie was texting you, Capricorn Clark was texting you, Mia was texting you, everybody was texting you. So you 100% knew about it, right? Again, she said, listen, she says that there was one time that Diddy gave her space after a conversation because KK made that happen. But to me, okay, so we talking about like a few years, and you can only pick up a few times. On top of that, when they talk about like KK made that happen, that's not good for KK, because it shows that you have real control over this person. And if they can leak through text message that you knew what was going on as far as the robbery, the arson, the violence, if you knew what was going on, then you could have stopped it, because you got real control. Again, the sex trafficking is just one predicate crime under the RICO, right? There's other predicate crimes. Predicate crimes are the underlying criminal crimes. Arson, robbery, like think about anything. Diddy probably did it. But my whole point in the matter is, it could still go either way. Okay, so you didn't know about the sex trafficking, but you knew about everything else, because everybody was texting you. Now what? And they got all your text messages. So now what? Right? What else? She said that so Jane did say that she regretted a lot of her choices, right? And the thing is, Tina Garagos, and again, like I said, Diddy is paying for a multi-million-dollar team, and they are all really good at what they do. Even Yana, Mark Agnifilio, as much as I drag Mark, he is one of the best lawyers, and he's really good at like, oh, golly shucks. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions. But at the end of the day, he's very good at making witnesses feel comfortable, and then they themselves, no, not like that, but give themselves rope to, I can't even say it, I don't want to get demonetized. My whole point of the matter is, he is paying for a dream legal team. But Tinny was like, so you didn't mind? And she was like, she said, you regret some of your decisions? Jane was on top of it. She said, I don't regret. I resent him for leading me to a lifestyle that he led me to. Adding that her choices were made under a lot of emotional pressure, right? She kept saying they were on and off. But again, I think they need Dr. Hughes to come, because it really is the pimp lover boy stuff. They did say that over 3 years, he gave her more than $150,000 over the course of the relationship. No offense, but $150,000 over 3 years is $50,000 a year. He had her like on Target salary, on Trader Joe's salary. No shade if you work at Target or Trader Joe's, but do you see what I'm saying? I don't think that level of abuse is justified by $50,000 a year and your rent paid. I don't care if you live in a mansion. He didn't even want to give her money to furnish it. But okay, you got $10,000 a month rent, and he gave you $50,000 a year. All that abuse for $50,000, the UTIs, the infective, no way, no way. All right. They also said that, hold on really quick. Now, she answered questions about her interactions with certain entertainers, right? She confirmed that she found one handsome and had chemistry with him. Now, she said they got involved with another. Now, get this. She said that she really thought Sly was super, super handsome. And she said, well, didn't you go to his IG thing and try to look him up? And Jane was like, yeah, with the encouragement of my partner, okay? Here's the thing. She does have beef with KK, okay? She literally said that she felt like the messages read aloud did not include what KK was saying, but Jane maintained that she spoke on the phone with KK about it, okay? Listen, this is when KK was telling her to put rugs in her checked baggage. Of course KK coordinated. Who else did you coordinate for? She didn't know to go herself. And there's a log that she said talked to either that or Diddy told her. But KK, stop it, right? Anyway, hold on. Oh, this is interesting. They said that she said that her dynamic with KK was harder in a relationship with Diddy because KK was always with Diddy. If KK was always with Diddy, you know, she also said, I believe she had very strong opinions about me, which influenced a great deal on how Sean also treated me. Okay, fine, but it makes me think that KK know, and this was Jamie's thing. She said that KK actually know the way all those women were being treated, and she didn't care because she was secretly in love with Diddy, and she thought the worse these women treated him, that she was happy because they would make the girls, and she thought that eventually when he settled down, she would be the one with them. Listen, she also cried after 2 hotel nights, right? And she said that one time she cried and she said, yo, can you stay with me just to comfort me? And Diddy stayed with her. But to me, I'm like, what actually happened that was so bad that this monster that don't give a damn about you actually stayed? And honestly, you 2 times in almost 1,000 days, and you're trying to tell us we should actually look on that, right? She said that she also cried in the shower after 1 hotel night, but Diddy was high off his whole supply, so he didn't even know, and he ignored her. I said, okay, Diddy. 997 said, hey, Queen, great job. Hold on, I listened to the thing. Oh, listen, it's Megan like Reagan said, Tisa's reenactments of Nancy Grace were so good. Go watch her on there. Yes, you guys, go watch me on Nancy. Also, Carly said, Tisa, you were amazing on Nancy Grace. Whoop, whoop, yay. Oh, thank you. Thank y'all. And make sure y'all leave comments in the section about like, oh, you know, yay, Tisa's on here. But thank y'all so much for even watching. And I really do thank you so much, Carly. And hold on, let me get through. Thank you so much. Penny said, Tisa. Oh, Diane Williams said, we love you, Tisa. Thank you. Penny said, Tisa, I hope you didn't forget your umbrella today. I was late this morning. How did they get rid of the juror today? Hugs for you. The juror hasn't gone anywhere. The juror doesn't know that they are the focus of all this. Again, these are all sidebar conversations. The jury is not privy to any of this. So there's a storm brewing, and the jury just thinks everything's okay. Also, Black Country Girl said, keep up the good work from all of us. Thank you so much. Also, but again, the defense is filing a motion to actually strike the juror. And if it's granted, then, you know, Senor Rojo said, Yana, he's got crackhead tendencies. He does have crackhead tendencies. Also, Tia Lee Smith said, Tisa, you were born for this. So proud of you. Oh, thank you. Keep shining, baby. We're going to shine as much as we can on YouTube. D, thank you so much for gifting a membership. And Facing the Truth said the graying gums are another signal. Oh, wait, another sign of potential blank. It's called oral thrush. I've never heard of anybody except for Cadaver or the Dark Lord, Lord Voldemort, having gray gums. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, right? Let's get into this. Listen. Hold on. Oh, get this. Let's get into this. They said he wasn't taking care of himself, okay? And here's the thing. They're trying to suggest that she knew about Diddy's addiction early. Are you out of your mind? This man got everybody coked up, doped up, strung out, and you now trying to put that on me like I left you to a life of folly? And here's the thing that doesn't make any sense. If she did, then he would have been up under her because that's all she wanted, love. It makes no sense. I mean, if you getting somebody struck out, I would assume it is 100% to benefit yourself, you know? How y'all doing? Now get this. They said on their first trip to Turks, she suggested that he go to a rehab center in Thailand when she realized how the rugs were affecting him, right? On the flight to the Turks, she noticed his shaky hands, his eyes, his teeth, and coloring seemed off. Yo, I know Diddy was up there looking gray as a mug. He already tend to lean to gray. You know what I'm saying? Because again, hello black people, y'all know when we are sick, we don't get pink, we don't get pale, we actually get gray. So that's the whole first scene. It's like something's off. Allie Berry 874 said, hey Tisa, love you and Nancy Grace. They're gonna get fed up of the US. We're all up in comments, sending angels from the UK. Thank you so much. All right. So then she said, I could tell he wasn't taking very good care of himself, right? So then Tenny was like, so you knew he was a drug addict from early on? And she was like, listen, she said, in the beginning, I didn't really know how to label it. I encountered somebody that was overdoing the partying. She said, our relationship continued and I noticed a very strong pattern. And I still didn't really know how to put a label on it as a rug addict. I think now I would say that. But then I would just say that he was a really big party guy. Again, listen. Toward the end of the relationship, she noticed that he was taking antidepressants, and she confirmed she wanted to get him off of rugs and back to his normal form. She testified that Diddy once told her he was interested in getting ketamine therapy. Baby, you weren't interested in getting ketamine therapy. Diddy, shut up. Joel Reese said, you're doing a wonderful job. Continue to be you. Thank you so much. And Sylvia S., thank you again if I didn't thank you. Anyway, you guys, listen. Oh, wait. Whiskey is my yoga, and I love it when you drop the Harry Potter reference. That's right. Oh, and Boas, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, listen, you guys. I don't want to rush you guys off, but I do need to get back to the courtroom. I'm going to be out around 3:30 for us to do and go crazy. It's going to be super fun. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Let me get up there. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.